Welcome. We are delighted to have you join us for this Curatorial Symposium celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Emily Hall Tremaine Exhibition Awards. My name is Tremaine, and I am the board chair of the Emily Hall Tremaine Foundation. We are a family foundation that's more than 25 years old, involving 4 generations across 7 branches of the family. Many of the current members, board members, are in the audience today. Early in the foundation's formation, the exhibition award was created to honor the Tremaine Collection and the artistic vision of distinguished contemporary art collector Emily Hall Tremaine and her husband, Burton G. Tremaine Sr., who was my great-grandfather. The exhibition award focuses on fresh and experimental exhibitions that match the trailblazing spirit of Emily Hall Tremaine, her passion for the art, and her support of living artists that inspired, challenged, and brought joy to those around her. Today's symposium is a culmination of the year-long celebration of the 20th anniversary of the award that has been explored through commissioned articles in the fresh e-publication exhibition on the Cusp. As you listen to today's TED-style talks from these contemporary art curators, we encourage you to pull out your smartphone or tablet and send your questions to the event moderators using your event mobile app, Slido, and the hashtag curators. Details on the app are on the screen and in your program. To ground us in the foundation's work, I ask Michelle Napick to join me on stage. Thank you.
Go this way.
I can exit.
You can exit. You can exit. You're free to go. Thank you for that. Actually, just thank you for grounding us in the family history a little bit and, the ties between the Exhibition Award and Emily Hall Tremaine. I mean, we wouldn't have an Emily Hall Tremaine Foundation if it wasn't for the sale of the Tremaine Art Collection. That is what endowed the foundation. And actually, I'm about 4.5 years into my leadership position at the foundation. And right before I got the job, I read Emily Hall Tremaine, Collector on the Cusp, the biography that you can now download right from our website. And we have the amazing author, Kathleen Housley, in the house tonight. So Kathleen, thank you. And that biography, it's a page turner. I kid you not. I read it cover to cover in hours. And I was just beginning to understand how Emily and Burton Sr. kind of had their finger on the pulse of the times and the changes that were happening in America socially and the artists that were sort of pushing the social discourse of the time. So when I actually got to the foundation, I was all sort of this art legacy thing. I need to know more, and it's connected to the Exhibition Award. And so I'm talking to Heather Pontonio, who's our senior art program director, and I'm just meeting her, and I'm looking behind her desk, and what do I see? All the exhibition catalogs, sort of all lined up, and I'm like, wow, what happens to these? Does the social discourse continue? And we kind of started talking about, well, it's kind of a repository. And we wanted to think about ways to continue to push the social discourse because the themes of the Exhibition Awards are they're so relevant for the times we are in today over the past 20 years of Exhibition Awards. So we wanted to continue to refresh and bring those on mind and keep them in mind. So we have a number of the curators who received the Exhibition Award in our audience today. So I just want to recognize a few of them. And listen to the titles because there's a lot of still provocative thinking that they bring to mind. Stephanie Smith, where are you, Stephanie? Yeah, woohoo. Stephanie, yes. Stephanie curated Feast, Radical Hospitality and Contemporary Art. Susan Cross, where are you? Yeah, in the back. Susan Cross, yay. Susan curated Material World, Painting and Sculpture as Environment. Deborah Cullen Morales. Deborah, where are you? Deborah's right here. Yay. Deborah curated Arte Novida, Actions by Artists of the Americas, 1960 through 2000. And then, Aram Moshayedi, are you here? I think she's coming, or she's really quiet in the audience and I can't see. She did Hotel Theory. And Andrea Grover. Andrea, are you here? Andrea, yay! Andrea was the first exhibition award I got to go see, so I was super stoked. Anyway, she did Radical Seafaring and really helped elevate the whole area of offshore art. Imagine that. And then the latest exhibition award comes from a curatorial team of FICTILIS, Andrea Steves and Timothy Furstnau, and they curated the Museum of Capitalism. Perhaps relevant for our times? I'm not sure. But it was actually the first exhibit award that was outside of museum walls. It was done with an improvement district in Oakland, California, and they activated abandoned commercial space, but they actually activated the whole community. And that's a big part of what these exhibitions have done. In all, we have this beautiful banner over here, kind of with the stats, but there have been 35 curators, 25 awards involving 650 artists across 14 states. So that means art isn't just happening in New York and LA, right? We got that, right? Yeah. And really, this whole notion of the cultural and social frameworks, they were hallmarks of the Tremaine Collection. And that kind of led us to this thinking about, okay, we've been doing it for 20 years, where are we going? And so we started planning backwards from this day to mark the 20th anniversary, and not just as a celebration, but really as an exploration of contemporary art issues and opportunities for curators. So we landed on a theme, and it sure harkened all the way back to Collector on the Cusp, because the theme became exhibitions on the cusp. And the medium is an online contemporary art magazine. And it was really about featuring stories from the archive of the exhibition awards as a platform for progressive advancement of culture and exploration. So we're going through all these, sort of tying these themes together, and it's actually also celebrating curators, creators, and communities. And so to do that, we engaged an amazing collaborative, Pitch Design Union. Maybe I'm supposed to stop talking, I don't know. Pitch Design Union, and we have all the collaborators who were here who built out exhibitions on the Cusp online. Margot Harrington, the design director. I saw you all sitting back there somewhere. Chad Corey, who's his art and storytelling and graphic expertise, and exhibitions on the Cusp after 12 editions just became this coffee table edition, and it's robust and rich, and it captures the best of the stories and sort of glorious visual and journalistic content. So we hope you enjoy that across the many months to come. But there was something missing. We actually published the first 2 editions, and then we're like, okay, if this is sort of a through line from the very beginning, the grounding of the museum, Emily Hall Tremaine, to where we're going next, and a whole notion of what is on the cusp in curatorial design, we thought we're missing the voice of Emily Hall Tremaine and the Tremaine Collection. So we actually created and commissioned the Emily Files, and Kathleen Housley came back on board to do that. She had all these other stories after doing the biography that were, rolling around in her head, and they tied to the many themes that were part of the exhibition award. And you'll see in the book and online, there are themes around art and social justice and the democratization of art and capitalism and race and identity. These are all poignant conversations we need to have today. And we had a lot of other amazing contributors as well. You're going to hear from Tempestt Hazel, who's the founder of 60 Inches, the online art magazine and archiving organization. You can hear from her today. And we have Kathy Bird, who's the founder and artistic director of Fresh Arts International, and that's a podcast. So the podcast also got tied to exhibitions on the Cusp, really trying to bring all voices from all places. So as we're getting more curious about sort of the intersecting and blurring lines of contemporary art and understanding the role of curators in our cultural and community landscapes, we kind of are saying again, like, where are we going? And you all, really, this audience of curators and museum leaders and your colleagues beyond this room really helped inform where we're going. But it's all been an exploration, and we're going to continue the exploration this afternoon. And I'm about to put you in the hands of I'd say, the two most intriguing and exciting culture producers who are the co-founders of Hyperallergic, Harag Vartanian and Viken Gakian, editor-in-chief and publisher and co-founders of Hyperallergic. I love their platform kind of tagline, sensitive to art and its discontents. A playful forum for serious and radical perspectives on art and culture in the world today. So I'm going to put you in their hands for this afternoon's program. Thank you.